Hi everybody, Good Friday here in the UK. Hope everybody's coping with this coronavirus. I'm sure we're all thinking about the people who've sadly lost their lives, but we're all doing our bit. Today, it's Good Friday, traditionally my wife and I, we eat fish. It's not that we're over religious or anything, it's just we like fish and chips. And as it's a Good Friday, I thought I'd do a video which was actually, I was inspired to do it by a man called Clive Cutter. A lot of you might know him. He's, in fact, I've got a list of people I'd like to mention here. Clive Cutter at the Flag and Fez Brewery. He did a video the other night of making a haddock risotto. Now Clive is a very clever chap and he brews excellent beer and he's also an excellent cook, so I thought, well, I might just put a video online of cooking fish and chips, the good old British staple dish. I've also got some other people who I'd like to give a shout out to while I'm at it, who've also put food videos out there, and they all subscribe to me. So one is Ben, whose channel is called IPTV. He's in San Francisco. He's not a great cook, he says, but he does put some good ideas out there. There's a lady called Lydia Mole, some fantastic food she puts out, some recipes. There's a lady called AJ Fern's family. I think she's based maybe in the Philippines, I don't know. Some excellent recipes that I've used there. And last but not least, there's a lady called Josie Pranilla who's done some recent videos on cooking food in Singapore, I think. And they really are fantastic recipes. And I've copied a lot of them and cooked them here. So, without further ado, let's get on. I've got two nice pieces of cod here. Now cod, for those who don't know, it's a cold water fish, it's a sea fish, it's a white fish as you can see. It's always been a favourite here in the UK and Europe. And this is the loin of the cod, so it's a thick piece. In fact, we've got two very thick pieces here. I'm hoping there's no bones in. So I'm going to cook these, and I'm going to cook them with chips, which Fritz or whatever you like to call them. These are British potatoes, obviously, and they're all ready to be fried. And I'm going to make some mayonnaise, just an ordinary recipe of mayonnaise. I'm going to split it into two, and I'm going to put some mint in a bit of it to serve with the fish and chips. But before we go, I was going to, my next job after making the mayonnaise was making the batter. And the reason I'm holding this glass up is because this is lager. This is Japanese rice lager that I made in January. It's absolutely delicious. And I'm going to make my batter with this rice lager. So without further ado, my wife's on the camera. If she can turn it off, we'll make a start on the cooking. Well, to start our mayonnaise then, which we're going to have with our fish and chips, we've got some ingredients here. This is 250 millilitres of sunflower oil. So I'll pour that into this beaker. There we are. That's that. Then we've got, they're all at room temperature, these ingredients, by the way. We've got an egg there. I don't know whether the camera will pick it up. And we've got an egg yolk. So it's one full egg and one egg yolk. We'll put that into our beaker. There we are. And I've got 2 tablespoons of white vinegar there. That's my wife's wine glass. I must remember to clean it out before I pour her a wine later. So I'll put the 2 tablespoons of white vinegar in. Now I'm not going to go heavy on the seasoning. I'm just going to put a pinch of salt because, well, maybe a bit more than that. And a little bit of pepper. You can add this later. Remember, you can't take it out, so just put a little bit in. And then we're going to get our whisk and we're going to put it at the bottom of the beaker. Start it off and then I'm going to lift it up and down. Let's go. The longer we do it, the thicker it will be. Nice and thick now. Should be about right. If you keep on doing it, it'll get too thick. So just wipe that off. Now you can add anything to this mixture. You could put chilli powder in, you could paprika, you could put capers in, which I haven't got, to make tartar sauce. I'll just try it with a spoon. But this is just a standard mayonnaise. Oh, that is beautiful. What I'm going to do with this now, I'm going to split it in half and have some chopped mint. So I can put that with my fish and chips, and the other one will just keep in the fridge. So I'm going to keep this in the fridge now. So that's how you make basic mayonnaise. Cheers. Right, so here we have the basic beer batter recipe. There's many recipes for beer batter. This is just one I've made up really. Plain flour, about 250 grams. In here I've got 50 grams of corn flour. Thought I might get a bit crispier. Put a bit of corn flour in. We'll get that in. Half a teaspoon of baking powder. Give it a bit of air. Right, that's it. Bit of salt, maybe half a teaspoon. I don't want it too salty. Half a teaspoon of salt. A little bit of pepper, black pepper, not much. About a quarter of a teaspoon, if that. And give it all a bit of a mix with my hand. Now you can use water, you can use fizzy water, some people use, but whatever you use, it's got to be cold. I'm going to make mine into a beer batter today, and I think a lager, a nice lager would be nice light beer. I just happen to have one here. This is a Japanese rice lager. I'll pour it into the glass so you can see it. Some recipes say you use 150 ml, some say this and some say that. I'm just going to put it in until the batter's the right consistency. I made this beginning of January. It's been bottled nearly 3 months and it's been really chilled well. So what we're going to do now, make a bit of a well in the centre. We're going to pour it in. So this is Japanese. I'll put about half in, and then I'm just going to beat it up with this whisk, stir it in. We might need it all. I think we're going to do. Keep putting a bit in. We want a nice consistency so that when I put it on the back of a spoon it doesn't slide off. This is going to be quite thick. And if we haven't got enough, we can always put some a bit of water in just to get it to the right consistency. I think we're going to need all this. This is our basic beer batter for the fish. You should really have an apron on when you're doing this. We might not need it all, it's coming on, and we just give it a bit of a beat. Let's put a bit more in. As I say, if you haven't got enough, you could always add a bit of water, milk, whatever. Right, I think we're just about there now. I think this is just about going to be the consistency I want. Got to give it a good beating. Yeah, I mean you can do it with a electric whisk if you want, or electric mixing whisk, but scrape it off. I don't really want to put any more lager in, because I think that, if I get the spoon now, show you what I mean, get some on a spoon and coat it. If I slide my finger down there, it shouldn't rejoin. Right, do it again. I think we've got the perfect consistency there. Slide it down the middle, that is perfect. So that's it. We'll get that in the fridge now on chill for an hour, and then we'll start dipping the fish into it and cooking. So we'll catch up with you in the next clip. Right, we'll get this cooking started. First of all, I'm going to season the cod with a bit of salt, not too much, just to seal it in. It brings a bit of the moisture out, makes the fish nice and firm. I'll turn it over. They're quite thick, these pieces, so I don't want them to break up, you see. And this will just draw a bit of the moisture out. And I'm going to just dust it with a bit of flour as well. So I'll just put a little light dusting, turn it over. My wife's filming today. She doesn't like filming, but she's, you know, I'll put it all on. And then what I'm going to do is just, you know, bang them like that and leave them there. But first of all, I'm going to get these chips on. Now these have been in the fridge in cold water, so all the starch is out. I've got my mayonnaise ready here as well, which you've seen me make. So let's get these chips on first. If you can come over here, love. I've got some vegetable oil in this pan, if you can just get a close-up of that. It's just ordinary vegetable oil. Some people boil the chips for 5 minutes in lightly boiling water. I don't bother. So let's just get a few chips in, just checking that the fat's fine yet. You can see the fat's at the right temperature. I'm not going to put them all in, just enough. We don't want them to boil over and have a bit of a fire. We've got enough problems at the moment, haven't we? So I reckon that's, what, do you think that's enough, love? Okay, a few more, just getting them all in. That's enough. Right, we'll get on with cooking those for a few minutes, then we'll do the fish. Whoa, put your thumb up. Right, that's well beaten. Let's get on with cooking the fish now. The chips are done. I've put them in the oven to keep warm. You didn't need to see that. So there's my first piece of cod. I'm going to cook them separate. Let that really get coated. I forgot my cloth, but never mind. I'll take this over to the fat fryer. Now it would be easier, I admit, to actually go to a fish and chip shop, but in the present times, I don't know whether there's any open or not. So let's get it in this hot fat, get off the excess, and there we go. Now I'm going to cook this piece, it's very thick. I'll probably cook it 4 minutes. Oh, look at it, puffing up with the baking powder and the beer batter, and I've not seen that before. Should be an interesting one. So what I was saying, after 4 minutes I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Obviously I can't get 2 pieces in this wok. I haven't got a proper fish fryer, so this will have to do. But it is clean vegetable oil, brand new, never been used before. So give it 4 minutes or so and I'll flip it. Okay? Okay, we'll turn this one. Ah, that's nice, not just right, that. Give it a few more minutes. And we've put some scraps in. My wife likes a few scraps. Very fattening, but they'll fry off and we'll have them with the chips. And here we have the final dish. Fish, chips, some peas, the mayonnaise, and I put some fresh mint in. That's my wife's plate. And some wedges of lemon. Cut into the fish, Heather, and tell me, cut into the middle. And tell me what it tastes like. Is it cooked? This is your traditional British fish and chips. Quite, as I say.
Yes, it's delicious.
Oh, it's delicious. Well, that's mine, so I'll enjoy eating it. Thanks for listening and watching, everybody.